Wow, new video already! It's gonna be on Wednesday because this is one beast of an issue, which is exactly why I don't have much time to focus on the cover since this issue is 80 pages, it's a beast, and I can't wait to see the rest of it. But the cover is done in the style of those cute lineless Sonic Channel illustrations, and I'm pretty sure it's the same artist too. Their art is wonderful. I'd love to give the stylization a crack one day, and I'm excited for this issue. And I'm excited in general because Sonic's birthday and the symphony and everything was great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that for one day this fandom came together for one concert to be like, you know what? Sonic is great. So yeah, excitement all around. Spring Valley Zone is done so well that I actually had to stop and search up if it was an actual zone in a Sonic game, and the answer is it isn't. However, Spring Valley is a dream world in Nights into Dreams, and the Badniks here are Badnik versions of creatures seen in that level. I didn't know this since I've never played Nights. Whoops. This Sonicified version of it looks so cute though. I wish it were a cameo in one of the games. And we also see a green glint in the distance there on the right. It was a Chaos Emerald, and Metal showed up and snatched it up right from under Sonic's nose. He looks wonderful. I love the art in this issue. Sonic's raring to go, but Metal just leaves. I also gotta say, since we don't really have a voice for classic Sonic, I can't help but hear his dialogue as the Sonic OVA voice in my brain, you know? I love his little joke here with Amy. We haven't really seen much of classic Amy, but she seems cute. We saw her in the one Christmas Sonic short with Metal, and the last time we saw her in a comic was in the sadly cancelled Mega Drive Archie comic miniseries, and from what I recall of it, she was pretty cute and caring there too, but I haven't read it in a long time, so I can't really compare. Sonic gets his boost from Amy with a cute heart-shaped effect from her Pico Pico hammer, and he goes on to get an extra boost towards Metal from Tails. The action is very well drawn, and this is just the first few pages. I cannot already tell that we're in for a treat. I'm so excited. Also, my voice seems kinda deeper today. That's kinda weird. These things fluctuate, we're not gonna pay attention to it. Metal is rude though and blasts Sonic away by blasting away as soon as he gets close. And I love the panel of Sonic falling and having complete trust Tails will catch him and then knock knock, it's Knuckles. Much like with Sonic, I can't help but hear classic Knuckles with the voice of Knuckles in the OVA. And classic Knuckles is also always a delight to see, and I don't know why. He was a delight to see in the Mega Drive comic, he was a delight to see in Mania and the Mania Adventures short, and he's a delight here. I think it's something about his muzzle shape, maybe. Knuckles says how there was trouble in paradise. I get it, because Angel Island. He was just chilling in Mushroom Hill Zone, which I'm so happy to see get drawn. But then one of the animals brings Chaos Emerald, which was also just lying about randomly like it did with the Emerald Sonic found. Which is odd, why are they just sitting about? I think it clearly isn't a case of the emeralds get used to go super and then they scatter about, else Knuckles wouldn't be finding it odd, would he? And then he gets attacked by Metal Knuckles! Oh my god, I saw the preview page of the last page where there's a red blur, and I theorized it was him, since he got to be a skin in the Sonic Minecraft pack that got released. But then I thought I'm probably wrong, since Infinite was in it too and Sega isn't really doing anything with him either. But here he is, Metal Knuckles! The last time we saw him I think was in the cancelled Archie Sonic comics, and I love the way he's drawn here. This is a full page of very well done action as Knuckles and Metal Knuckles fight, and it continues on to the next page, so go check it out yourselves. This comic is a delight so far. Metal Knuckles cheats and cuts down a huge mushroom to put some animals in danger, so Knuckles has to focus on saving them, and Metal Knuckles makes off with the emerald. Knuckles McFreakin kills Tails. Look how cute Tails is though. I'm still wondering what's up with the emeralds. I was thinking maybe Eggman left them around as bait so his metal copy series will get tested out. But that couldn't be it since they don't spend time fighting the heroes. They just nab the emeralds and run off, wasting no time whatsoever. Amy was all excited there's an adventure with Sonic and that she's here at the very start and we'll get to see it all. But then she gets ditched. She's left seemingly alone with the Emerald Radar Tails dropped. I do actually feel bad for her here. It's not really about her wanting to chase down Sonic, she just wants to prove she can be just as much of a hero as everybody else. But she's also being followed by, well, we know who that is. Spooky. My boys! My year buddies! Mighty and Ray are here. They're, training, I guess? Mighty is tossing these huge boulders and Ray is flying around them and dodging them. I'm so happy to see them in a comic again. I was hoping they'd show up since, well, this is a classic team comic and they're locked into that timeline, sadly. And while I'd love to see them in a main comic again, I'll take what I can get. And they look wonderful. Mighty tossed a boulder near Amy, so they go check on her. Mighty calls her a little lady, and Ray is like, hello, they're very cute, I love them. And they're meeting Amy for the first time. I think that's Sega Sonic Mania and Mania Adventures did happen before this comic, and this is indeed the first time Amy is interacting with these two in this canon, in game canon, I guess? In comic canon? Classic canon? Yeah. It's a bit confusing, thanks Sega. Amy pretty much recruits them to help her get the emeralds like everybody else. So now we have 2 teams of 3 looking for the emeralds and trying to get them before Eggman. However, this team is still being spied on. Creepy. Team 1 is in Summer Fall Zone, which also is a zone that doesn't exist. I think. I tried looking it up. As far as I know, this isn't a reference to anything. It's just a nice zone that I wish was in a game. It kind of reminds me of Jungle Zone with the waterfalls. But anyways, they've realized they lost the radar, but they're doing well since they have Knuckles with them, a treasure hunter with Chaos Emerald senses. Sonic did bring up Knuckles being a treasure hunter in the last panel, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy whenever that aspect of his character gets brought back up in canon. They find the emerald, but then they get stopped by a cork? No freaking way. It's my other boys! And my favorite boys! Bean looks so good, he finally has a duck bill. Somewhat weird to see after being used to Archie Bean's weird beak shape, oh my god, but I love it. Knack, or well, we're going in with Fang in this comic, he gets his blue nose. I'm so glad. The old comics kinda kept switching between the blue and the black nose, so I'm glad he gets the blue one here, since I prefer that one. And Bark! Bark gets to have his original body type. He isn't disastrously slimmed down like an Archie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see them again. I love these boys. Look at them! Bark looks great, and we pretty much finally get a clear official design of him that isn't the old Fighters model or a tiny sprite. Not that I don't love his Mania cameo, but we finally kind of get to see a clear reference of him for us artists. And Bean is doing backflips, and that's so unnecessary, and I love him. The boys are fighting! Sorry, I'm just still so excited that my boys are back. I was so sad they can't be in the main comics since Sega forbids it. So I'm so happy to have them back in some capacity, and they look so great. Being still leaning on the fourth wall and being like, but this is our big reunion after so long. Don't you miss me? I did miss you so much. Forget what Sonic says here. I missed you so much. I love him so much. Look at his silly, dramatically sad face. Look at him go feral. Just a feral murder boy. God, if I can just tear myself away from gushing over these boys for a few seconds to just gush all over these other boys. Tails is being a baby boy and marveling at the marvelous queen. That is Fang's vehicle and its capabilities. He's so cute. Fang calls Tails double butt. But, no pun intended. Our boy Tails messes with the marvelous queen and messes up Fang's entire plan here and takes the emerald. It's taking so much self-control not to just post every single panel. They're also good, but Fang is still very much a feral man with a short fuse, and just Quark shoots the heck out of Tails, who tosses the emerald. Bean was about to blow up Sonic and the emerald, and Fang was like, "No, you idiot!" And then we get this silly scene. Sonic even sung, well, I don't actually know if he's singing the tune for when you get an emerald, like da 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 da, or if this is a Zelda reference and he's actually going da 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 da. I have no idea which one it is. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. You could interpret it as both, so Nintendo doesn't come after anyone. But yeah, Fang ruins his moment regardless of what he's singing, and I love their faces. Bark and Knuckles are just going at it like crazy. They're so angry. I love them. I feel like this makes up for the last time we ever saw them fight in the Fighters arc in Archie. There I felt like Bark got beaten a bit too fast, so seeing them be equally matched and given like a really nice fight is nice. And then they punch each other out and the emerald goes bye-bye. Bye-bye, Emerald! Or not bye-bye, Emerald. As Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles decide to go tail the hooligans. That's just what I'm gonna call them. That's what they are to me. They don't refer to them as such in this comic so far. Maybe not at all. Maybe that's just an Archie thing. But they decide to tail them, and we see the emerald has landed on Mighty's head. I love Mighty's face. I can see some Tyson Hesse influence in there, and I love that Ray calls him Big Guy. God, Tails' doll is so creepy. I think him being used as a spy is creepier than anything any creepypasta could do. It's like an elf on the shelf. Creepy all around. And that hatchy shading doesn't help the creepy vibes at all. I mean, it does help them in that it makes it even creepier, but still. Heavy King? Heavy King is here? He's behind us? This comic just keeps getting better and better. But yeah, as the emeralds, we get more zones I wish were in games. Autumn Forest Zone. It reminds me of a mix between Mushroom Hill and I think Sunset Forest Zone from Rivals. It has acorn badniks, and the loop-de-loops crumble since they're made of fallen leaves. And there's a Mr. Tinker scarecrow. I reckon we have a winter-themed zone left after this since it's Seasons of Chaos, and we've had spring, summer, and now we're at fall. So yeah, that ought to be next for us. They don't run into the hooligans, they run into Eggman and Metal Sonic. It doesn't look like Eggman is with Metal though, rather he seems to be chasing him down. I guess Heavy King took control of him because Eggman has like a little device he's trying to get close to Metal, and going like almost, and yeah, he's probably trying to take back control. Eggman lost control of his boy. Sonic just can't get himself that speed race with Metal. Metal's definitely not with Eggman right now. He doesn't even try to defend him. He just flies off again. We switch over to Mighty, Ray, and Amy, who have found another emerald. But then, it's Cork time again, and the hooligans are back! Amy is saying how the hooligans are jerks and cruel, except for Bark, who she thinks just hangs out with bad people. So other than being leaning on the fourth wall, and Fang being a short-fused feral man, we kept more things that were introduced in Archie Sonic for these characters. Bark was always kind of hinted at to be the most soft-hearted between Fang and Bean, and it looks like that's stayed consistent, like that's part of their character now, and I love to see it. I love to see it. Everyone is fighting, and Amy is trying her darndest, but Bark is just a brick wall. I love the style in this comic so much. Everyone looks so cute, and Bark is so cute, and again, I'm so glad he's back, my boy. This scene is amazing. It's just one big panel, but it's so well done. It gets shown off that Bark wasn't trying his best with Amy, and Mighty was just messing around with Fang. And here they have a moment where they're both going all out as the muscles of their respective teams, and it looks amazing. Mighty gets set back and cornered for a bit though, but then Ray steals one of Bean's bombs and tosses it their way. Ray catches Amy, but then Bean blows them up. He had the emerald, but then Metal Knuckles shows back up and takes it from him. Very nice of Metal Knuckles to let Bean faking him and taking the emerald. With Metal Knuckles stealing the emerald that the goons Eggman hired had, it becomes very clear to everyone that something's up, and Eggman owes them an explanation. He explains how he rebuilt Heavy King so he'd be his chief commander and lead his badniks into battle. So that way Eggman would have more time for himself. But then Heavy King tried to murder him in his frickin' sleep. Side note, I do love Eggman's room though. He has a Sonic the Fighter's arcade machine and a Mean beanbag. Anyways, back to Heavy King's assassination attempt. He gets stopped by the best bad robot, if I can pronounce things right, Metal. After that, Heavy King took control of all of Eggman's robots and kicked him out of his own base. It was very rude and hurt Eggman's feelings, he says. Bean is ridiculous. I love him. Fang and Sonic are less than impressed, but I love that Knuckles is showing some sympathy here. This is how Eggman tricks him all the time. He's not stupid, he just has sympathy for people, and Eggman uses that against him. He keeps giving Eggman a chance and getting tricked because Knuckles keeps trusting that Eggman could maybe turn over a new leaf for real one day. Fang needs Eggman to come out on top so he can get paid once Eggman is back in charge. And Sonic needs Heavy King stopped in general, so we have ourselves a truce. Exciting! We're in the winter theme zone, winter caverns zone, another made up zone. You know, if we get a continuation to Mania in game form, I'd just love it if these levels got added as new levels, kinda to make up for Sega made so many old repeat levels instead of new ones like they wanted. But anyways, Heavy King has all the emeralds, it seems, and I love this entire panel. Bark's tiny little grumpy blush as he has to sit in the sidecar, Bean having just so many rocks with which to pelt Mighty, who looks so annoyed but isn't doing anything about it, and Knuckles doing the "I'm watching you" motion at Eggman, I guess, as a way to go, "I sympathize with your situation, but I've got my eyes on you." Eggman's nervous little wave, it's all so good. I love this zone. Again, I want it to be real. I want to run through this shiny ice zone and slide down that icy river and fight that snowman Badnik and his spiky icicle snowball. I want this. You know, we as in the Sonic fandom has amazing fan game and modding communities, so maybe somebody is gonna make all these levels a reality to some capacity. I hope so. I want it. And Metal Knuckles are back and causing trouble. I'm assuming they're guarding the gate to Heavy King, so it's time to fight them. I love this entire panel. I want it as a poster. All three teams are raring to fight the metal copies, and Bark is holding Amy back from going eagerly into battle, something I assume he's used to with Bean if their dynamic from the old comic is kept. And I just noticed that this whole time in this winter zone, Amy had been wearing Bark's scarf. He lent it to her. That's so sweet. I love him so much. The Tails doll is back, and Eggman is gonna use it to do what he was trying to do with Metal earlier, well, Metal Sonic, and jam Heavy King's control and take control back of his robots. I do also want to know why Tails' copy is a creepy little spy doll and not a cool Metal Tails, though. I'd like that question answered, please. Hooray! My boy is in the kebab! In a rare instance, we see Bean actually look nervous for a bit as Metal Knuckles cuts up his bombs, and even that bomb, but then the signal gets jammed and Bean is saved. Mighty is protecting Ray from Metal, much like in Mania Adventures, but they also get saved as the signal gets jammed. Sorry for pretty much posting this entire page, but I love this whole sequence and I felt that it was important to post it. All the teams are on the same team now, and Sonic Assassin Metal Sonic over it, while the two knuckleheads are butting heads in the background. It's great. First, Bean was gonna open the door with bombs, but Fang stopped him since he didn't want there to be a cave-in. And then Mighty and Bark were gonna tear the door down, but then Eggman is like, "No, I just painted it!" and just opens it himself, which he could have done all along. Both Mighty and Bark look so punch a door down. They're so cute. And that's another thing. I'm so happy with this art style and how they allow Bark to be expressive. Something I felt they didn't use the potential of in Archie Sonic, and how Bark just wasn't very expressive. He had like 3 expressions: neutral, unamused, and scowling. And the art style in the Fighters arc was great since it was so expressive, and I feel like when a character doesn't talk, like Bark, I feel like they can gain so much by being expressive, so it's great that we get that here. But has the power of all the emeralds in his possession, so he essentially begins a boss fight. There's rays and energy beams flying everywhere. Bark's protecting Amy by using Mighty as a shield, which I think it's very sweet how they've been showcasing his soft side this issue. Amy is one of the youngest people here, and she's also the least experienced in adventuring, so it seems Bark's taken to keeping an eye on her. Fang is trying to run off, but Metal is having none of it and just dragging him back. Time of his life, even though that life is in danger. And once again, I'm so glad my boys are back. Fang is trying his best with that cork gun, but it just can't do a thing to Heavy King. I mean, he's made of metal and he's powered up by emeralds. But I'm so glad Fang has his cork gun back. It's so silly. Pretty much everyone is in trouble here, but it does make for a cool shot. Everyone is in so much trouble that not even Metal Sonic and Metal Knuckles attacking together stand a chance against Heavy King. They have a new plan. Rather than attacking directly, Sonic's gonna get on Heavy King's nerves and draw his fire, while everybody else sneaks up and tries to nab the emeralds from him. Sonic starts mocking Heavy King's level design and character design to get on his nerves. And hey, since we're getting a Sonic VTuber, maybe he ought to start one of those Sonic channels where he bashes games. I'm joking, but also maybe he could do it just to make fun of the Eggman levels. I love Sonic so much. He's such a menace when he wants to be. And I love his expression here. It reminds me of one of my favorite pieces of classic artwork, where he's just kind of kneeling over laughing with a wide mouth like this. I think you know the one. Everyone is getting the emeralds, and rather than basically posting a full page again, I'm sharing my two favorite panels of this. I can see the Tyson Hesse influence again with Knuckles, as it very much reminds me of one of his old jokey Sonic comics, the Knuckles one. And I love Bean, and I know I keep saying it, but he's like my favorite Sonic character other than Sonic himself. But also, please don't eat the emerald, Bean. Heavy King almost gets Sonic with one final big attack, but then all the emeralds are gone. And I love this moment of realization. It's pretty funny. Eggman gets a cool little moment here where he kind of rubs it in that Heavy King's done for and that he's back in charge. Heavy King pretty much begged for forgiveness. Like, he was like, haven't I been doing what you made me for? I've been conniving and conquest driven, so he won't be getting destroyed, but he is gonna be losing his free will. Uh-oh. And then Eggman turns right back around and wants to have everyone destroyed and get the Chaos Emeralds. But everyone is gone. Eggman can't do a thing since the Metal series got tired out from all the emerald hunting and fighting, and all the other badniks are destroyed. All ends that ends well. Everyone will be heading their own way, it seems, and Bark is so cute. I love him so much. He doesn't much like it being pointed out that he's a softie on his team, it seems. He's so cute. I'm so glad he's here. The hooligans are officially heading off, and I hope... Yeah, those were the hooligans. But yeah, I hope beyond hope that we see them sooner rather than later. It's been like 5 years since we last saw them in the comic, and I'd miss them so much. The big hope for me is that Sega changes their mind and decides they're allowed to be in the main comics again. But for now, I'm happy that we got to see them again and that Ian Flynn got to write them again. I know he had a blast writing them, and I recall that Bean was one of his favorite characters to write. And I'm so happy that he got to do it again and that we got this whole reunion. I'm just so happy. I really miss them. I want to see them again, please. Knuckles takes off as well, taking the green emerald with him. The hooligans took the purple one with them. Mighty and Ray are heading off too, off to more training and maybe more adventures. They take the white and the light blue emeralds with them, and it was definitely nice to see them in this comic again too, but they've gotten so much attention since Mania Plus, oh my god, that I was just extra super excited for Fang, Bark, and Bean since it's been so long since they got any attention. And like, this is an officially Sega licensed comic, so that was like the most canon that we've seen them, probably, like, because Sega is so involved in these comics. So those are, I guess you could take them at their personalities as they would be in the games too, if they appeared there, and I hope they all appear in a short one day, like both the Hooligans and Mighty and Ray, and I hope to see them in a short again one day, and seeing all of them animated together would be a dream. Sonic, Amy, and Tails get the blue, red, and yellow emeralds, and also splitting off, it seems. I love that Amy is humble. She went through all that danger too, even though she has less experience, but she tries to act like it was all because she used Tails as radar. It's cute, and I actually like this version of Amy now. Sonic has a bit of mischief and a laugh, as one does at the end of a big adventure, but they agree not to leave Amy behind like that again. And Sonic is the last to split off and runs off into the sunrise. Like any good big adventure where there was all this excitement and reunions, that's now coming to a close. And that brings this big adventure to an end that I wish had never come. I wish the story would never end. I love seeing Mighty Ray and the Hooligans in a story, and I'm a ridiculous person, so honestly, it got me kinda emotional. They're some of my most favorite characters, and I love this reunion with them. The art was amazing, and now I want to draw some classic themed art. And truly a Sonic 30th treat. It almost feels melancholy to have it over, but I'm glad it happened. The art was really good. I know that several artists were working on like a different set of pages throughout this arc, but they fit each other's stylizations, or I guess the classic stylization, so well that it wasn't noticeable at all when a different artist is drawing a different page. They all blended together super well, and I love the art in this. Again, I love this art so much, and everybody did such a good job, and I'm so happy again that Ian Flynn got to write both Mighty and Ray and Bark, Fang, and Bean again. I want to see more of it, please. But anyways, now it's time for the next two mini adventures that are included in this comic. First of the shorter stories is Sonic Learns to Drive. It will bring us the answers of the question that has been here since Sonic was first put into a car for a racing game. Why is Sonic in a car? And the answer, aka this comic, is brought to us by the McElroy family. Yes, those McElroys. Clint, Travis, Griffin, and Justin. It's so wild to me that I'm sat here reading a Sonic comic for the 30th anniversary written by the McElroys. I've been following their work for a few years now, though I need to catch up to the Adventure Zone. I'm kinda bad about regularly listening to podcasts since I need to be in a specific mindset to actually be able to sit down and listen to audio that isn't music, and actually process it and what's being said. But this is exciting. In this comic, we also get our first new classic Sonic character in years, a capybara named Kip, which I'm pretty sure he's based on one of the background characters for one of the covers for, I think, I can't remember exactly the issue, but it was a cover for Chao races and Badnik races. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw him there, but now he's like a full-on character, and he's a classic character. This is hilarious. This poor capybara is just stuck in a speeding car with a hedgehog that keeps rambling and won't keep his eyes on the road. He doesn't even know what a speeding what a speed limit is, and apparently I can't say it. He calls Sonic Mr. the Hedgehog, and honestly, I wonder if this was the joke all along, or if they were gonna go for a please, call me Sonic, Mr. the Hedgehog was my father, but then Sega stepped in like, no, McElroys, what are you doing? You can't have Sonic say he has a father. It's not allowed. The fans will go insane. Change it now. Also, Night the Owl is on the radio, so now I want to draw a classic version of Night. Sonic is just, oh, what will they think of speed limit? Poor Kip. I love his face, but poor Kip. Going slow is uncharted waters for Sonic. Lord, even just touching the brake pedal in order to slow down is making Sonic sick. Sonic runs a red light and then just gets out of the car to stop the other cars on foot. These two panels have some cameo goodies though. In the first panel there, on the left side we can see the rabbit prototype for Sonic. And in the second panel, while I think be modeled after this, that big weird red car on the right, that was Eggman's car in the kiddie arcade game Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. I may not know my bad nicknames, but I do know a whole bunch of other and obscure Sonic trivia. And here's our question. Poor Kip, mid-panic, asks Sonic, why is he learning how to drive? Why does he need a car? And Sonic goes, chili dogs. Thank you, McElroy's. Sonic wants Mr. Munchum's bun-sized Franks, his favorite brand of chili dogs, which sounds exactly like an ad, like a product that the McElroys would make up. I'm so glad. The catch is, that company is hosting a race, but it's a car race. So Sonic needs to drive and not just go on foot. I forgot to point this out earlier also, but the charm that's hanging by the rearview mirror is actually the spaceship from the Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter game. It's a nice detail, but also that first panel is making me crave chili dogs now. Chili dogs. I love this silly little hedgehog so much. He goes on to ramble about how the reward is actually a lifetime supply of chili dogs, but how he doesn't know if they mean an average lifetime or the amount of chili dogs he plans to consume in his lifetime, which clearly isn't the amount a normal person would consume. We get a better view of that Cosmo Fighter spaceship in this panel, but also Kip is doing Sonic's driver evaluation. Uh-oh. E rank, and it doesn't stand for excellent either. Woof. Not surprising, but still pretty funny. When I say not surprising, I of course mean Sonic hasn't been following road safety practices this entire time. He doesn't even know that your hands need to be on the wheel at all. Like, at all times? But what an ADHD king though, like, you mean I need to sit here, not doing anything with my hands, but keeping them on this wheel? King. Feeling that Kip's and Sonic's roles will reverse here, with Kip having a good time while Sonic just has the worst time going slow and following rules. Poor Sonic. He just has to go so slow. Help him, it's killing him. He was doing so well, but then the race is about to start and Kip is about to go right back to not having a great time. Again though, I'm telling you, this hedgehog is an ADHD king. He's even got that time blindness. I have no idea how many events there have been in my life that I didn't set a reminder for, and then boom, the date is right upon me and I had no idea until something reminds me last minute, if I'm even that lucky and don't get reminded after the fact instead. So I know exactly how he feels here. Okay, so you know how everyone always makes fun of the loops on the levels of Sonic that look like streets? And they're like, who but Sonic could drive on this? Well, it turns out that there's cars built for doing these loops, I guess. Incredible. They do the loop, and it's a loop of Easter eggs. I'm pretty sure we have Sonic's schoolhouse on the left side there. Oh no. Over at the top we have the Flickies from Sonic 3D Blast, and down on the right we have the Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop. Nice. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I've missed some Easter eggs. This story seems like a gold mine for them. Oh, There's our classic knight, actually. I'm glad to see him again. But he comes with bad news. The race is postponed because Eggman is attacking and it's on the other side of town. Sonic was just gonna go on foot, but Kip points out there's a ramp they can use as a shortcut. I guess after speeding and after spending just enough time from stressed by speeding to impressed and wanting more of it. I can't decide if Sonic is a good or bad influence, honestly. And Kip turns into a speed demon, and this issue ends. With one last Easter egg too, that bumper sticker that says Visit Jade Gully. Jade Gully Zone was gonna be one of the levels from the scrapped Sonic Extreme, and it looks like they got the font to match too. This was a lovely short story, and I could tell the McElroys had a ton of fun writing it, and it had so many good moments in it, and I loved the artwork of it too. It was very reminiscent of the old Japanese promotional artworks for Sonic 1, and it captured the style perfectly, and it went so well with the story. I don't think it's the usual that we get from Sonic, but it was nice. It was a nice change of what we are used to, I think. Different, but in a fun way. And I had fun with it, clearly. But anyways, this next story focuses on Eggman. It's his day 2 after all, and this is actually the story that I knew the least about prior to release. I don't think there were preview pages or anything unless I missed them. It's written by Gail Galligan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm unfamiliar with their work, so I had to just look them up, and they've actually written for the Free Comic Book Day issue that's also an anniversary issue and will be coming out this August. So I look forward to seeing what they have to bring to the table. Eggman's having a grumpy morning, kinda peeved that it's been another year with nothing to show for his efforts at all. The panel before this one is so cute with the Badniks throwing Eggman a birthday party. Go look at it yourselves. I'm gonna keep imploring you, go look at this comic for yourselves. They give him this Eggman clay figure that he was sneering at earlier when he got up. And he's rude and he doesn't like it. Like, come on, Eggman. You build most Badniks with claws. It looks pretty good for a figure made using mostly claws and not hands. Eggman doesn't like that every year Badniks pull him away from his work to celebrate his birthday. But it's so adorable! Like, this Badnik got him macaroni art, and that's so cute! And they get him a Chaos Emerald figurine and a creepy Sonic piñata, and every year Eggman tells them to knock it out, but every year they celebrate his birthday anyway. But as established, Eggman is rude and he just wants it to be over with this year already. But there's nobody around in the base. I love the signs in this panel. They have an open mic night, Eggman is always watching, that one over there that's like, you know your rights, you have none, and do not wash your hands, you are a robot. It's a pretty funny room, I love it. But anyways, Eggman suspects that his Badniks are trying to throw him a surprise party, and he looks all over his base trying to find them. He gets to this room with Sonic and Tails on the screen and a couple of the hard-boiled heavies and some Badniks with headsets. And that's when he figures out what the plan is for this birthday. The birthday plan is to defeat Sonic for Eggman. He hurries off trying to get them to abort, but they won't listen. They, aw, Eggman, you do care. More hard-boiled heavies. They're just about to attack and get destroyed for their troubles, but Eggman is there and stops them just in time. Poor Heavy King is getting chewed out. And Sonic and Tails, though. This is like when you're at a friend's house and their parents start chewing them out over something, so you just kind of have to awkwardly sit there in silence and watch it go down. Eggman gets everyone to retreat, and Sonic, in a mix of being nice and being sassy, wishes Eggman a happy birthday, but Eggman's just not having it. He's fed up with the day. This is adorable. Eggman is still chewing everyone out at the base, but they try and explain that they wanted to do something more than their usual for Eggman's birthday, and he's their boss and they believe he deserves nice things. That's so cute! Look, he does care! That's so adorable. This whole story is adorable. I love it. This is so adorable. This whole story turned out way cuter than I expected it to, and the art style really added to that. I love the storybook-esque shading and the softer colors, and I know that on Eggman's cake that's like frosting, but I can't help but see it as ketchup. And who knows, maybe it is. These are badniks. They're robots. It's not like they know what food tastes like and that ketchup wouldn't go on cake. And Eggman is still grumpy about his birthday, but I feel like this year maybe he feels just a bit softer. Look at that cute Motobug and the heart above it looking at Eggman. I love how much the badniks love Eggman, but how am I supposed to smash them in games now? I'll just feel bad. This was a lovely story. I like that Eggman got some acknowledgement for his big day too. And these stories are great. I believe I said my piece on the end of each of them, so I don't need to make this video even longer than it is. Though the first and the longest story has my heart simply because it brought back my boys, Bean and Bark, and I like Fang too, but Bean and Bark are my most favorite. And I want to see them again, please, again. But all these stories were great. It's just that that first one is my most favorite of the batch. But yeah, hopefully this video is my first comic review with music. I know I said the next video probably would be with music, but I completely forgot that the next comic to come out was the anniversary special, which 80 pages. So I'm even recording this earlier than I normally would, so I have more time to edit. So hopefully it would have music. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, great story. I've rambled a lot. It's almost an hour. Almost. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambly and rambled out. I'm just so excited for Sonic stuff. I love this comic. I love this entire franchise. I hope everybody had a fun time with the symphony and this comic, and that you went and read it for yourselves. Wink wink. But yes, I can't remember what's next on the schedule. Probably Super Sonic and Speed Battle, but that's a completely different set of videos. So, enough rambling. I love Sonic. Happy birthday, Sonic. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see ya when I see ya. Bye bye.